وسلم Muhammad, mercy upon mankind. He was Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Muhammad, mercy upon mankind, teacher of all mankind. أبا القاسم يا حبيبي يا محمد يا شفيعي محمد خير خلق الله محمد يا مصطفى يا إمام المرسلين يا مصطفى يا شفيع العالمين يا مصطفى يا إمام المرسلين يا مصطفى يا شفيع العالمين يا مصطفى يا إمام المرسلين معلم.
Welcome back, and in this segment we will be talking about crisis management and how to deal with the crisis in our life. And joining us right now in the studio is human development expert Dr Hisham Sharawy. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Let's start by talking, definitely when we talk about crisis and crisis management, this is something of great importance. But the point is how to be proactive. Let's start with this.
Yeah.
Because if you are going to wait for the crisis, definitely this is something. And if you are proactive and you're talking about crisis management itself, this is another part.
First of all, I need to congratulate all of the audience for the Prophet Muhammad anniversary of today, birthday. Yesterday we heard the president speech when he was speaking about the need for changing the language of speaking about Islam and about the religion in general. I believe that we can learn from the life of Prophet Muhammad some kind of lessons about how to develop and how to initiate the role play and the role act of Prophet Muhammad for all these kind of skills like crisis management, like leadership, like problem solving.
By the way, the president yesterday, he was
Yes.
talking about this as well.
Exactly. That's why I remember now what exactly he said yesterday in his speech. When we are speaking about crisis management, I don't like to call it crisis at all. Because once we call it crisis, it means we reach to the maximum of the problem. We don't need to leave the problem till it reached to crisis. And George Bernard Shaw before said that when you accept to let the problem increase from a challenge to a problem, it's your mistake. And when you change it from a problem to crisis, it's all of us mistakes. So I believe that we need to be proactive to stop bringing the issues and the subjects into the figure of problem or into the figure of crisis.
Dr. Sharawy, I'd like to ask you, what are the means of accomplishing such a thing? Like, how can we deal with it? And you're saying that we should prevent it or do preventative measures. So how can we acquire or maintain that?
First, we need to identify that we have a problem. If we didn't identify that we have a problem, here we shall get more problems of this problem. Actually, we are mixing between the symptoms and disease. Sometimes we are defining the symptoms as a problem, and another times we consider the symptoms, it's the disease. If I have a headache, I will not say that I have a disease of headache, but I will say that I have a symptom of headache, and this kind of symptoms is reflecting another disease. We need to identify the real problem. This is the first step.
Yes.
Second step is to define the same problem itself. Once we identify that we are in a problem, we need to define the problem itself. A lot of the scientists in the fields of management and in the field of life coaching and such these things, it starts to speak about how to define the problem. And they discovered a lot of methodologies like fishbone analysis, like cause, reason, why approaches to define from where is the problem coming. Not from the symptom, not to reach to the symptoms, but to reach to the core of the problem itself. The third step is to look for the alternatives. How can I find alternatives to solve such a problem? The alternatives themselves, they are not solutions, but can give us a complete figure, complete view about the problem. Some of the people are not considering the step of exploring the alternatives as part of the solving of the problem. They are saying this is maybe brainstorming, maybe it's something of critical thinking or creative thinking, but actually the critical thinking and creative thinking, it's part.
Actually, strategic plan, part of the strategic plan, maybe it comes as number 6 or 7, talking about when it comes to the action plan, there must be the alternative.
Exactly.
Just in case this might not be okay. So you have plan A and plan B and plan C in order always to avoid falling into the mistake.
Exactly. To have contingency steps and you have emergency steps and you have scenario B's always, it means you have a lot of alternatives in your solution. The fourth step, if we said that the first step, it's identifying that we are in a problem. Second is defining the problem. Third is to explore the alternatives. The fourth is to try to apply which one of these alternatives will be the best to solve. In this step, we are not apply for granted that this solution will be the final solution, but we are trying to test if these kinds of solutions can meet the right target we need or not. The fifth step, to solve any issue, I don't like to call the problem or crisis or problem. I like to call them issue. To solve the issue is to implement the solution, implement the right solution, and to evaluate the result you get from these kind of solutions.
Yes. Now, doctor, what about conflict? If we're in a state of conflict, how can we handle that?
It depends on the type of conflict. There is 3 types of conflicts in our life. There's a conflict of thoughts, and this is the major conflict we are falling in. And there is a conflict of act, how to apply things, how to do things. And this comes after the conflict of thoughts. And the third one is the conflict of reading the results. Sometimes we are falling in a mistake by reading the result wrongly. There is one funny story said that a researcher bring a frog, and he cuts its leg and asked her to jump. The frog jumped. Then he cuts the second leg, still jumping. The third one, still jumping. The fourth one, it didn't jump, so he wrote as a result, the frog didn't jump because she is not hearing after cutting its legs. He reads the result wrongly. He said that the frog is not listening after cutting the legs, but the frog is not jumping because its legs is already cutting.
But talking about the conflicts, also there is a diagram or something like this, how to reach a solution, because most of the time actually when you are in a conflict you want to close it win-lose, or you don't care about, for sure, if you are able to make it a win-win, to compromise, something like this. But this is another issue. It has to do with the behavior of human beings, that he is not looking for the interests of the other side. On the other side, why the other side will accommodate or compromise for you.
One of the main activities we are doing in the lectures for the students to teach them how to solve the crisis and how to compromise a solution with the other side. We are bringing balloons, and we are giving all of them a balloon in one hand and in the other hand one nail, and asking them to count for 2 minutes, and after the 2 minutes, whoever will have his balloon safe without exploding, we shall give him a prize. You know what is the first act will happen? All of them try to explode the other's balloons, to stay alone by the end to get the prize. The result always comes like this. All of them has exploded balloons. I'm asking them, why did you explode the balloons? You said so. You asked us, whoever will stay by the end of the 2 minutes with his balloons safe, he will get a prize. Yes. Why you didn't keep the balloons all together without touching the others, and all of you will get the prize? They are not thinking about this. We don't have the culture of win-win. We don't have the culture of how to assess others to gain if I lose. We are saying to ourselves, since I lose the chance to get the prize, let them lose also. But we need to learn how to get a culture of win-win, and even if I lose, I should help the others to win, because in the next time, they will help me to...
Maybe this time I will compromise, so next time
Exactly.
I will take it. And maybe I'm giving the part that I'm not that interested in, but I'm showing you that this is something that
Exactly.
I care for it, but it's okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, for another type of handling crisis is situational interviews. What is situational interviews? How do we define it?
When we are giving the new graduates some kind of courses to learn the soft skills they need, one of the main soft skills is the interviewing, because interviewing, it's one of the main skills he should learn. We are telling them that he will face some kind of questions. These kind of questions will depend on the job-related issues. This is normal, because if he is engineer, I should ask him about engineering issues. This is, everybody can answer such things. Second one, we shall ask him something to read his behaviors, to read how he behaves in a different situations. And the third type of questions, and this is the most critical one, the situational questions. And there is a big difference between situational questions and behavioral questions. Behavioral questions, it is the expected behavior from him every day. Some things will pass in his life, every day he will face it. How he will behave in front of it. But the situational, it's another thing. Situational is, suppose that you will meet a problem, a sudden problem in front of you, how shall you act? And we are treating them to follow one methodology and one approach called STAR. STAR approach, it's a very good approach to help in solving such questions and such conflicts of situational questions or situational interviews. This approach, starting with the 4 words, STAR, S-T-A-R, S, situation. You try to explore the situation, and T from the task. What the task which is requested from me, what they are requesting from me to do, then the achievement, what they need me to achieve. This is my task, and what is the result they are expecting from me, and review my reading for the whole story, including the situation, task, and achievement through the revision. This way of meeting the situational interviews is the most successful way to help in answering such questions.
Right, of course, this is going to be another challenge for fresh graduates, actually. I'll call it challenge, not a crisis, because we know interviews are something actually that is really, now we have courses in this respect.
Yes,
but all what we are talking about will take us to the behavior. Because again, the behavior, the way we are behaving, is it okay? Is it, because definitely this is how we evaluate people. And even while you're talking about the interviews, you're talking to the one-to-one. But there are other interviews that are not one-to-one, and this is the another part. And sometimes you focus on the one who is talking to you. In the meantime, the one who is not talking to you is the one who is evaluating
Yeah, the one which is watching. When I'm evaluating anybody, when I'm doing some kind of interviewing, I'm not doing the interview by myself. My assistant is doing the interview for the interviewer, for the interviewee. And just I am watching the body language and the
Dress code, body
the
language,
dress code
attitude.
and the attitude, the behavior, such as these things. So I advise each interviewee not only to focus upon the interviewer, but to focus upon the situations. That's why I'm saying situation. I will not check the person which is talking to me only. I'm speaking about the whole situation. When you are getting in a company to do an interview, you are in a cold interview, even you are not get inside the interview. When you are waiting for the interview, we are calling this period cold interviewing. We are calling it cold interviewing because he is not exactly in the interview, he is waiting for interview. You have a duty during this period. Watch and try to explore some kind of results from the others. Hear the way they are talking. Hear look for the dress codes. Look for the behaviors of others. This will help you inside the interview. Even during the interview, don't focus on the person which is speaking to you directly. Just focus upon the situation. The way you are sitting, where are you sitting, who is looking to your behavior, and how to behave against the sudden actions. Suppose that you have a cup of tea and you spilt on yourself. How can you behave on such things? He should be calm. He should treat himself before the interview to be able to succeed inside the interview.
Yes. Now, doctor, what about the concept of life and relationship coaching, and what does it mean?
The word coaching is used now in plenty of things wrongly. Actually, we are using the word coaching to supervise and to direct people how to act. But this is not the right way of coaching. The right way, which we learned it from the theories and the approaches of Stephen Covey and a lot of scientists in the European and American, we're speaking about coaching, how to guide you for a solution, how to not getting your hands on the road, but also give you the way to think and how to act. But I'm not giving you a solution. It's giving you the net, but not giving you the fish. So in our relationship and in our family issues right now, it's not my duty to tell you how to behave with whoever is living with you. But my rule is to show you how to react in a different situation, and you can measure upon these situations what can you act in different one.
So again, this will take us to the behavior of people.
Yeah.
So talking about the challenges people are facing, or talking in general, do we have the right method or technique to find out my challenge and how to confront it? By what? By writing down, or by how to think louder, how to put priorities, for example? Because no one lives without challenges, regardless of the living standard of it.
Actually, Joe Bright and Harry Dilton did something called the behavior matrix. This behavior matrix is speaking about 4 cells. It's kind of matrix, and each square in this matrix is speaking about certain kind of behaviors. The first square is speaking about those behaviors which I know that I am behaving, and the others too believe that I am behaving with the same way.
Both of us, we know.
We know, both of us. And the second square is speaking about the behaviors I know that I am behaving, but others are thinking in a different way about me. The third one, these behaviors which I don't know. I don't know that I am lying. I am not knowing that I am trying such these things, and the others feel it and see it in my behavior.
The fourth one, of course, the black box.
The black box.
Yes.
This is what we are calling the transfer area. The fourth one is the transfer area. What is the most major important square? It is the first one. All the behaviors I am doing and the others also is knowing that I am doing. Because in this square, I will keep always the behaviors which is ideal. I don't like to show the people that I am aggressive and I am shy, and I need to show the people how much I am perfect. So this square is the square which we need to enlarge. How can we enlarge this? We can enlarge this on the account of the other three squares. If I have one good behavior and people don't know about it, why shouldn't contact people and communicate with people in the right way to show them my right behavior, that I am doing right, and insist about whatever I'm seeing it's right, if the majority of people will judge it's right. The third one also, those behaviors which I don't know about myself and others know, I need to focus why people are treating me like this. Here I need to think. I need to rethink always how people are treating me. The most important one, which we are falling in, is the fourth one. The fourth one, those behaviors which is dark area, as you said, blind area, as you said. This area, we need to explore another experiences and another communication with people to be coming up.
Yeah. Actually, each of these points that we were talking, it needs an episode on its own.
Exactly.
I believe so. But at the end, Dr. Hisham Sharawy, human development expert, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for this chance. Thank you.
And right now, moving on to a quick break, and then we will be back to resume our breakfast show.